Hi, and welcome to the Scrapping Studio. My name is Tracy Walker, Creative Memories Advisor in Des Moines, Iowa, and welcome back to another episode of Sketch Sunday, where I am working through this project recipe book that Creative Memories gave with purchase last year during their birthday, and we are working through that. Today we are going to do project recipe 21 on page 46, and it was originally done with Adventure Parks collection, which is our amusement park collection. However, I have a lot of Sparks of Magic left, so I'm going to use Sparks of Magic today. I am going to still use the Tiara Border Punch, and that came out, I think it's been a couple years since that one came out. Super cute Border Punch for that. So we, for our base pages, we're going to use a blue and yellow polka dot. The other side is striped polka dot and kind of a grid pattern. So that's going to be our base. So designer paper number 1, which is, let's see, designer paper number 1 is this. This is the blue. We're going to use that black. Designer paper number 2 is going to be this one, and we're going to use black polka dot. And then designer paper number 3 is the tiara is going to be punched with this, and I think there's some mats that go with it. So yep, it's tiara and mats. So let's make sure we keep these in, I have these in order and labeled, because I plan these out and then I go back and I'm like, oh, which one was which one? So this makes it easy for me and not to waste your time for that. So let's cut and look at direction, and we're okay on that. We're going to do 5.5, which you don't have to open your thing. You're just going to go to the very end of this edge of the trimmer and cut. And then we're going to do a 1x10 and a 1. So I'm going to cut from this side. So we got a 1 and a 1. All right. And then this one is 4.5. So there should be 4.5 left. Yep. 4.5. And then by 6.5. And you cut that. And then I need 1.5 from that. So I'm going to cut it from this side. 1.5. All right. And then we have that scrap. And then these are 1x10. Since I have it open, I'll just measure it that way. I got 1x10 scrap. And then 1x9.5. All right. There we go. We're done with that page. So now this page, and then this has a little bit. I'm going to keep it this way so the stripes are horizontal. So this is again 5.5. I'm just going to leave this open, and we'll trim that in a minute. So then we're doing the same thing. So 2 strips of 1. And then we're going to make this 6.5. So I'll just make sure it's still 4.5. Yep. So then we need this 6.5. And then 1.5. 1.5. There we go. And that's left over. I'm going to make this a 10. One of the stickies is sticking to me. Throw that in the trash. And then the other one's going to be 9.5. 9. Oops. 9.5. All right. We're done with that one. And the last one, we are going to punch the border. So I'm going to put this away for a second. And we are going to punch the tiara. So I've got it in here. It has a little release button, and then the teeth are always going to go out. And you pop it in like this. And then this is the carrier. And let's see, there's no direction on that side. Put that, flip that back over, and then this way you're gonna feed. There's like some plastic grooves that you feed the teeth into. And you're just gonna work your way down it. It just pops into place. So once you've done it, once you realize, oh, okay, I get it. So I'm gonna put this in the trash. And I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna put that on the tray, flip the tray back, and this ensures that everything is even. And then punch it up. And sometimes you gotta be careful because some of these that have a lot of punch out to them, they can easily get snagged. Sometimes just straight on, straight out, straight on, straight out instead of going down the line will help you with that, especially when there's just more intricate that. All right, get rid of that. Then I'm going to trim this edge just a tiny bit, just because sometimes they don't always come out even. So this way I've kind of got that edge. Okay, so we're down to, need that right now. All right, so we need 4.5, and then 4.5. And then this is scrap. Then this one is going to be 6.5. All right, that's 6.5. And then this is 4.5. That's a scrap. Same thing. 6.5. And then 4.5. 4.5. And then we've got a scrap. All right. The only other thing that we need to do is on the bigger pieces, trim. So let's just get this laid out. So we put the blue on the side and the yellow on the side. And I'll take my little reminder sticky off. I think I got those like at the dollar store one year. And like, I think I bought a whole case of them for a retreat. So I'm slowly but surely working my way through all of them. All right, so we said this one is going to be on this side. I'm just going to dry fit here for a minute. And then, okay, do that. And then, see what we got. All right, so we got these strips. What's the other side of this? Let's see. So we got these strips. What's the other one? Trying to figure this out. We got this strip because then we have the tiara. So on that, we can do that. All right, and then this guy, my guess is goes here. I should just look instead of like I'm sitting here just guessing. All right, so we got that guy. And this thing here. There. Try and figure this out. So this goes, that one goes up top. Do I have, okay, that works. These match up. The question is, what else is left? Oh, So there are 2 of them. So I have that and that. So I don't love that there. And then what's on this side? That works. That works with that and that. So the only thing that's not working is these strips with, I mean, I'm not loving it. I'm trying to see like what other paper I have in my bin that I could use. Well, no, I can't use yellow. I could use this guy. I have this. I might get a different for that one. But like this guy would work. So I need, that's a 10. So I need a 1 by 9.5. So sometimes it doesn't always work out. So I'm using, what scraps I have. So here's 1, and then what other side? What other ones right now? About 4.5 by 1.5. So let's see what we can get out of this. 4.5 with the scraps by 1.5. Put this down here. It makes it easier for me if I use the bottom than have to stretch up to the top. Right. I like that. I might. We'll see. We'll go from there. All right. So, I need to cut these at 9.5. So I need to cut 2.5 off. Yeah, 2.5. That one. And this one. For that. And all right. That's gonna put the trimmer down here instead of on the side. All right. So I need to take my scissors and get some stuff out of here. Sometimes you just have to be flexible when they don't always work out. All right, so I'm not gonna fold it, and I'm just going to do that. And then let's see, does it say I'm cutting an angle to create the banner? I feel like it's got some inches taken off of it, but let's see. The bigger ones are sometimes harder to cut. Let's see, how did I do? Not too bad. That can go there. Now what I'm going to do, so that these banners match, is trim. I'll use the first one as my kind of guide. And let's flip this over. It's really hard for me to cut from the other way. All right. Here we go. All right. And step to the side. There we go. There we go. And I feel like, because this looks like it's got like a 1/2 inch taken off. So let's just take let's start with 1/4 inch. Let's see. And how that looks. So I just took it to, I might have cut that one a little bit longer than the other one. Hold on. Yeah, just like it. This one's a little bit longer. And going to do like an eighth more. And I did a little bit more on that one. Okay. Let's see what we got on that. How we feel about kind of put these off to the side and see where we're at. That's better. All right, let's line it up on the mat. So we have one that matches, like starts right there, and then the other one. So it looks like this is right here, and this goes on top of it. Those are the exact same. All right, I'm just gonna cut an inch off of it. I should put the other ones at 10. Well, let's cut a ½ inch off. So ½ inch. And nobody's gonna know that we had to pivot and adjust. Makes me think of Ross. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Shut up, shut up, shut up. We've had that moment with furniture. Maybe when we moved my daughter into her new apartment. That was fun. All right. So make sure I'm cutting it the right way because I've been known to not make sure I have the open end. There we go. That one's done. And that one's done. So this has a longer one on the bottom. So let's get this guy right here. I'm going to put some on the crease and on the, I'm going to flip it around. This will help me get it on straighter. All right. There we go. Let's put this guy on. Just get the tips there with that. This matches up right there. And then this guy is going to go on top. Yep. And right in the center. So then I don't need all of the crown, but let's see. Let's say I'm supposed to be trimmed too. And it does not say. So let's just put this one, it kind of runs along the, okay, so let's just repo and where we want to start. And then we'll just trim it off at the end. I'm trying to see, it looks like it goes. Let's look this one. Oops. Yeah. All right. And then we're going to just trim this off. There we go. There we go. All right. Looking good. So I can do this to bring yellow from this side to this side. And then we have this one and this one here. All right, let's get this adhered on. Oops, kind of shifted right when I have lots and lots of Disney pictures, so hence why I have lots and lots of sparks of magic, which isn't a bad thing. But it helps me get these pages like pre-done, and then I can get some pages pre-done, and then I can just throw my pictures on there. And if I have to change it, it's not a big deal either. That's why I use the repositionable tape runner. I'm going to put this down here, and then we'll do the other side. So, I think that turned out really cute. We can also put what we're on this side. Let's see. Is this fitting 4x6? Yes, it is. All right, and then this is 4x4. I know I have a 4x4 that I just opened. All right, and one thing you can do, like, so we've got a little bit of space. Put these right here like that. And then you've got room for 2 more little pictures for that. So let's get this. I'm just putting just a strip of repositionable down the back. And then I can peel these off if I need to. Or I can double mount my photos. It's whatever I want to do. And sometimes the edges curl, so I'm going to just put a little bit on that one. And then is this one. I am going to put these here because Disney, who does not walk away from Disney with like 1,000, if more, pictures? I think like the first year we went with digital cameras, because that was before the first year we went, we didn't have iPhones. I think we had like Blackberries or maybe flip phones. It was probably 2,000-3,000 pictures. And then once, the last time we went, we had smartphones, and so it was much easier to share, but holy cow, it's still thousands and thousands of pictures. But at least they, you can go through and delete them and do what you need to do for those. All right, so let's assemble the other side. And then we got this cut. We just need to cut the little banner. That. The little ones I'm not so concerned about them matching up exactly. The big ones I feel like you're going to notice more if they're off. So the little ones I think are easier. All right, so let's put this. So this is going to be on the bottom. Which one was the bottom? This one was the bottom. Make sure we get the very tips of the banner there. Do the same thing here. If you've seen my other episodes, you know that I have a cat that sometimes comes and visits. Tonight I have locked him out because if you watched last week's, I think it was last week's. Oops. I have to turn this one off a little bit. Not a big deal. He kept getting on the table, and like he just wanted to be loved and petted, and I get it, but I was like, buddy, I'm trying to record here. So I have him locked out tonight. I'm sure he can go find his sister or go look out the window. It's, I think, snowing or icing. I'm not really sure which, but he likes to watch the snowflakes, which is funny. He'll sit at the back door and he watches the snow come down. Once in a while, he tries to jump through the window and catch them. I'm like, buddy, he's an orange cat. Evidently, orange cats sometimes are not the brightest bulbs in the box, but I love him. And he's a sweet boy. And let's see. I think this is it. Do I have it like that? It's not this. All right, I'm going to look at the other side just to see. So I did have black and red on this side, and then I have, okay. like that. Hit the corners. All right, it's done. All right. And let's scrap. Let's get our picture holders in here. So I need to this. There we go. And let's look at some embellishments that I have in my container. That's just the extra paper. And there's embellishments, and then I have map cards. I think I'm going to need the map cards. Let's see what we got for these. So there's a lot of these. It's one of those. All right, so they have. I'm just going to start seeing what's out there. Maybe that's cute. Make it at an angle, and there's some jewels. I have to go back and find them. These are too redundant for the other. I don't necessarily want all these sayings. I like that. All right. And then I like that. I think I want that. I'll go down. Let's see what other camera. I this. I think I kind of like. I feel like it's top heavy. Like putting this here. Yeah, that works. All right, what else is in here? Oh, we have these stars. These could fit right here, like that. Let's see. Ooh, the castle. Let's keep that out. That. Oh, and there's another set of these. In keep that. There's this sort and stash binder. You can sort these in there and put them in it, and then you don't have to kind of dump them out every single time. I've also seen people put them on. Let me put that up there. Adhere them to cardstock or cardboard, like with the repositional tape. All right. Let's look at the other side before I start adhering down. And I also have stickers. Put that over there. And these stars. And really, that can go there. Oh, no, it doesn't work. Nope. There's really not room for the castle. So I'm going to throw these over there. And just look at the stickers. I'm going to throw that stuff. All right, so I know I like this cluster. I'm going to get this adhered down. Just like that. And this guy, like that. All right, and then this one I like. I'm trying to decide if I foam square it or not. Nah, I think it'll be fine just like that. Go. And then I'm going to foam square. Put my box of foam squares out. And let's see here. I am going to foam square this one. I'm going to put the foam squares on the bottom so that if I have to tuck a picture in, I've got space. Just like that. And then these guys go right here. Perfect. Now just to foam square. Let's see what sizes. Do this one. All right. Then I think I need the little one. I have like all these partially used ones. All right. Oh, yep. I have a little one right there. All right. I feel like I need to combine them. Okay. Go from there. One thing I did think of that I might put in there is this little guy. I like that. Do that. And so I'm using the Sparks of Magic. It might be the tone on tone paper, but it is from the Sparks of Magic collection. That was from a couple of years ago. And then I'm wondering, like, do I have like a yellow starburst? There is a red one and a black one. I was looking to see if there was like a yellow one, like to represent a flash. Because I was thinking, like, let's put it on, like, put it on there just like that. I think the red's okay. Yeah, it works. Okay, let's get this on here. Oh. That. All right, let's move all of this out of the way and get this in here. So we have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures. You could always divide this in half and have 2 3x4s if you wanted to, which then that's 8, 9. You could almost get 10 pictures on here as well. So once again, we did project recipe 21, which originally was done with the Adventure Parks collection. It is on page 46 of this 52 scrapbooking project recipe book. That was a free with purchase from last year during Creative Memories birthday. And I think it turned out super cute. We did have to, just to remember, we did have to adjust like these strips. I ended up not using them because neither side I felt worked well. So we got another scrap out and cut a new banner with one of the scraps that I had left over in my collection. So don't be afraid if something doesn't work. Find another scrap. Find some collections will mix and match with each other as well. So I think this turned out super cute. Thanks for joining me on this Sketch Sunday. If you're interested in joining a community of women who love to scrapbook, I hold 7 events a year. 3 of them are 3-day weekends, and I will put the information below so you can check out when my next event is. The 3-day ones do sell out. So if you're interested, I would get on registering on that one right away. They are in the Des Moines metro area, and I do have people that come from Kansas City up towards Minnesota, Nebraska, in Illinois who come to my events. So don't think that you have to be local to come to the events. We would love to have you join our Women of Crafters. We have people who do all sorts of crafts. I've had people make wreaths, make cards, um, do some of the diamond, I forget what they're called, diamond something. But they just come and craft and they just enjoy the day away from their family and getting to do what they want to do. Well, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again on the next Sketch Sunday next week.